Yikes. Yikes.
I love is when women decide that something is no longer serving them and they get the fuck up out of it. Like, this is no longer meant for me. Got a blast. I love that. Like, I love when women choose themselves, put themselves first. Like, I love that. Girl, look at you. Realizing who the fuck you are and realizing, I'm not going to deal with this any longer. I need to get up out of this. I need to do what's best for me. And you did that shit. And that's why you a boss ass bitch, because you did that shit. You did that shit. Never forget that you did that shit.
Motherfucking period. Welcome back to another episode of the Do Not Resuscitate podcast, where we are pulling the plug on things that no longer serve us. We hope that you are all enjoying your week, your weekend, or whatever it may be when you hear this. We hope that you hear something that you like and want to come back. Let's jump into these intros.
Hey y'all, it's Denise, the D in DNR, and your favorite runway model. International runway model.
Add that.
I was like, because don't come for our life.
That's okay.
She gonna
Hey,
choose
everybody.
violence.
It's Nicole, the N in DNR.
Hi guys, it's Ruthia, the innocent one.
Here we go with the lies. We're going to start the podcast with lies. We trying to tell people the truth, Ruthia. Stop.
Can we let Tommy introduce himself, please?
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tommy. I'm a Cancer.
You like long walks in the park.
I like
Why was that fucking necessary?
I like dogs and chocolate women.
Gets the concept
And
of-
chocolate women.
I don't think he gets the concept. Of,
He didn't say nothing about the white folks over here.
He
He
don't like
said
his light
chocolate
skins. He said,
women.
I like chocolate women.
Well, that's
All
that
right,
on
then.
that.
where the fuck did I'm a Cancer come from?
He was telling you about himself. Let him live.
You said let him introduce himself, so he
You
was
didn't put
introducing
parameters
himself.
on my introduction, ma'am.
I just like the part where he said he liked chocolate women.
Emphasis on the chocolate.
Yes.
It's something in the air. It's something in
I'm
the
happy
air.
to be here. I'm sorry for the delay. There's some technical difficulties, but we here now.
Yeah, we
We
already
here
blamed
now.
Tone.
We here. We all good.
You know, our pie Uncle Tone. We already blamed him. But anywho, how y'all been doing?
I've been living. So.
Yeah, I'm making it.
How you doing?
I am awesome.
I love that smile.
I'm awesome. I woke up with a glow, and I don't know why.
Period. Because you're Ruthia. That's why.
See, I need buttons so I can be like, motherfucking period.
I don't think that was
If
the
it-
button.
Do any of those buttons work? Can you try one?
Okay, I'm gonna do this one because I've just been wanting to know what it say.
Well,
That's a no.
right.
So,
Yeah.
It says dickhead, and I really want to know what that sound is. Anyway, try it now. Why are we always a test dummies for Tommy?
I don't know. Stuff, how quite don't stuff work for me when I get here. That's all we want to know.
Are we the only podcast that you record?
No, I have several.
We the only one you fuck up on.
Ruthia.
I'm just asking questions. Like he told us he was a Cancer. I just have regular questions. No.
I'm gonna use this opportunity to advertise the Canned Beats breakfast sandwich that comes on 9:00 every morning here on Tone Diff.
You record a podcast every morning?
Every morning. It's daily.
At what time?
9 a.m.
And what do you talk about?
Oh, we talk about stuff, and we play games.
Who is we? Who else is on this
My
podcast?
guests. I just have guests, and we.
So you have a guest every single morning.
Hmm.
You think it's the Breakfast Club?
Okay.
This sound like hate every other week, ass nigga.
I only record every other week because I don't got time to be bothered with.
But I'm so happy to have my presence graced with your chocolatiness.
Oh,
Ooh.
Right.
That's the second time tonight.
How y'all doing again?
we want to know how you doing.
That's my said something.
So is that what that smile? You said you woke
You woke
up
up with a glow.
with a glow. Let's talk about this.
She couldn't wait to get here.
Ooh.
See Tommy.
That's not fucking it, okay? I seen my
It's
girlfriend.
It's the
spicy
honeybee.
in here.
I seen my girlfriend the other day, and we went and got ice cream and French fries, and I had the Dolce and Gabbana ice cream, and we had
Dolce and Gabbana.
I don't know how
ice
to
cream.
pronounce it.
Where's that? Where is this?
We was at
What?
Culver's, but it's Dolce de la something. It's something I can't fucking pronounce.
De-
So it's
like
Delenchi or
the
something. Like
leche.
cheesecake too.
Mhm.
So it's Dolce and Gabbana. They know what the fuck I
okay.
be saying. I want the Dolce and Gabbana flavor of the day
Okay.
with a
We
little
got you.
extra salted caramel. Yeah. So that's why I've been showing up for me. So I'm
Okay.
As you
excited
should though.
for that.
You
Why y'all
definitely
trying to
should.
throw me up? Y'all know I'm shy.
I mean, he just
Shy.
Ruthia.
I could have swore we just said we weren't gonna get on this podcast line today.
We're speaking true.
y'all
to
said
people.
that.
No, but we're a collective, so we're speaking
Yep.
true
Boom. There you go.
to people.
That's the one.
Don't say.
I don't
leche
see Gabbana.
cheesecake.
Well, you know,
I
you know
got
how
the Dolce.
black- you know how black people be
So,
making up their
we're gonna
own-
speak true.
Dolce de leche.
What you
Don't,
said.
don't
Cheesecake.
say de leche.
With extra salted caramel. You gonna buy me some?
Okay, I want
They,
some now.
they might have like some leftover. That sounds good though.
That was the
do.
flavor of the day.
I feel like I need to go to.
Yeah, that's raw.
Not Culver's. What's the other one?
Cops.
Cops. I feel like I need that.
They might have a little pint inside the little freezer from the
Oh
day after.
yeah. See how he hooking you up, girl?
The question is he buying it?
Oh,
I mean, I don't know about that. But
well.
Nigga, it's ice cream. It ain't a damn Dolce Gabbana. You want some ice cream?
I mean,
Ice
you
cream.
can afford it. You can afford it either way.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. Sure. When people can
Y'all
afford some
crazy.
ice cream, some Dolce and Gabbana ice cream in the middle of the week
You know what I'm saying? On a
Period.
Tuesday, nigga.
on a Tuesday.
Payday Thursday too, and I still got some change.
Payday was the Thursday that just passed, or the Thursday that's coming up.
It's coming up.
I'm finna slide in Tommy in box on Thursday.
yeah.
That's when I be doing it. Did you guys go see the Little Mermaid?
I did.
How did y'all like it?
I loved it.
I liked
I want to
it.
go back without the kids.
Listen, so I only wanted my niece to go so I wouldn't look like a fucking weirdo, but I was so
I went with one of my friends.
excited.
We both was grown. I had no shame.
Representation is so important.
Yeah, but so this morning as I was driving into work, I was listening to the Breakfast Club, breakfast, whatever, and
Not-
they were
not
just
the Tommy
so negative about it.
They were.
They wasn't.
You know, just saying, yes, they were. They had some man on there basically saying,
oh, I didn't hear that part.
that the Little Mermaid
that
had a white
probably,
man.
Dr. Umar.
Yeah, and then how they did like at the previous, they showed like this the little black boy Spider-Man coming,
Mm-hmm.
and he liked the white girl. So I was just like,
But that's just Dr. Umar. Like you have to understand who he is, and I don't take
I
nothing he
understand
say.
that,
I take
but-
everything he say with a grain of salt. So it's
seriously,
just
because
who he
he's
is.
because what I got from him, like what he was saying was, I just got bitterness. I just got pure bitterness from him. I don't know him honestly. Haven't heard of him.
I didn't see.
But,
I mean, I
yeah.
didn't hear that clip, but I don't care what nobody say. I enjoyed
I did
every
too.
single.
I
bit
guess
of
for
it.
me, like why I'm trying to figure out like why were people so upset? It's fantasy. It's not even
Right.
real. So why
Listen.
are we so focused on like they were talking about why her daddy have to be white?
So what?
I just do
Why
what I
is-
want.
She had
question.
an Asian sister.
I just want to know why
and
the
a
black
white
girl name
sister.
was Tamika. That's all.
It was a couple different names, and I was like,
That's the only thing I want to know.
it was a couple of them.
Why
I
her
was
name
like,
Tamika?
was like, well, that was an interesting choice of words. It was a
But you
couple of
also
them,
heard
yeah,
him
but
say
it
that
was-
it was from the 7 Seas.
Yeah,
Right.
so it was one from,
You know.
that's why it was every
Yeah.
different race. But
Exactly.
if you actually watched The Little Mermaid, the original one, her daddy was waiting there too. So they didn't make it so they were changing everything and making it a completely
Right.
black movie. It's not blackface. It's just
Right.
they chose her to be a part of the
Yeah.
remake, and I thought that was
Right.
important because when I grew up, I was like very, very adamant about going to see all of the kid movies,
Sure.
and I never seen nobody that looked like me.
Right.
I was
Right.
like,
So now you seen
I
these
really
little girls
enjoyed it. Like
see
I want to go
somebody
back
who look
again.
like them.
I was looking at my niece like, is you catching this? Like, this is great. And she was just like, have some more candy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
If I was the
pretty.
same idea behind like Cinderella when Brandy and Whitney Houston,
Exactly.
it was all different
I
races of people
love-
doing it, and everybody.
Yeah.
loved it.
Exactly. Because
The mother was black.
Yeah.
The Prince Eric.
His mother was
His
black.
mother was black. He was like
Yeah.
Asian or something like that.
He was
He was white.
he was adopted or something. They found him or,
He
or
came up
whatever.
on the shore
Mhm.
too.
Yeah. But it was just like
And
again.
when Brandy's sister was white or something,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
it
think
was,
so.
it was like something that didn't make sense, but we followed along with it and loved it.
Yeah, I think that they were just trying to
Have
representation.
representation for everybody.
It wasn't about, like you said, just being an all black cast or whatever. It was just about,
'Cause listen,
representation.
She wouldn't have been singing the song she was singing. She'd have been like, I want to be where the real niggas are. You know what? I'd have been like, it would have been cracking, but
Oh gosh.
what? That would
You
have been
can
always
always
it's true.
Right. I'm like,
I mean, they can make a movie like that, but it's gonna be for jokes. It's gonna be comedy. It's
Right.
not gonna be the same storyline.
Right.
Right.
So then also too, they were saying like, why she have to say the white man? It was just like y'all doing way too much
y'all
about a movie that's
overthinking
Spanish.
it. All
They
these-
wanted to.
they-
They was looking for reasons to nitpick.
Okay,
Right.
then they need to get their little coins together and make their own.
Listen,
Period. That's all I'm trying to say.
I enjoyed
For
it.
sure.
I really
And I
enjoyed
wanna
it.
go
I was
back again.
singing. Like
I said, I
loved
want to go back out
So
with
we
the
should do it.
kids.
We should add it to our list of stuff that
You
we
know
supposed to
another
been doing and ain't
movie
did yet. But
was
that's cool too.
Annie when they made the black
Say
version
that
of
again. Say that
Annie.
again. Say that.
I
say
said we
that
should
again.
add that to our collection of things we were supposed to do and still ain't did yet. But
Yep,
that's
that
a whole
too,
nother
Because we were supposed to be going to the
situation.
Smash Room like 12
Yeah.
years ago, but you
For
know.
I
real.
didn't know you 12 years ago, girl. Shut up.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, like the movie Annie, when they made the black girl version, I love that
Yes.
one too. Like, period, black girl.
Yeah. So watch when like Color Purple come on. Let's see what they're gonna have to say about that. You
Oh,
know, it's
because
gonna be some
people
negative.
people
gonna be
already
talking
doing their
crazy.
think pieces on the Color Purple, and it ain't even came out yet.
But they was already black.
They're saying
I know,
they're saying like
but
why do they need
still.
to why do they need to do a remake? I've seen several think pieces of why everybody always just remaking movies. Come up with your own idea.
I mean, Coming to America can't be touched.
And
the
the
first
same
one was
one,
amazing.
saying
The
that
second one was good.
Ain't
It
came
was-
with nothing. So
right.
that's
Listen,
that.
And it's not, from what I understand, that the Color Purple is not a remake; it's an adaptation of the Broadway musical.
Girl, you
So-
better use
Correct.
big words I can't say. Say
Oh,
it again.
shoot.
I thought White Man Can't Jump was kind of funny.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't- I
was
didn't
good.
even
I
go
like
see
that.
it.
It's on Hulu.
I
It
won't
was
be
good.
watching it.
It's good.
It was funny.
still
I,
wanna watch it,
I laughed
okay.
at it. It was funny, and they was playing basketball for real. It wasn't like fake basketball.
I don't think I actually got into the original one, but it might be because my age.
Yeah.
Too. So I probably was just in the room just because, like,
Yeah, that's true. I can
I
relate.
probably was literally sitting over there playing, playing with my toys or something. But
Me too, girl.
that was her shit. Anywho, so let's jump into the topic.
All right.
Let's.
Y'all want to introduce the topic?
You can.
I said, do one of y'all want to introduce the topic?
You can.
So
We
that's a,
good.
that's a no. Tommy, would you like to introduce the topic?
In today's episode of Do Not Resuscitate, this is a part 2 of the series of taking care of yourself, and we're going to focus on mental health.
Thank you, Tommy.
What you want to go up here?
What's going on?
I was just trying to figure out what was on the screen.
I'm trying. Just
My
put the
Converse,
credit card
the credit-
number in
right,
there so I
put the
can write
credit-
that down real
Exactly.
quick.
Go ahead and take a picture of that credit card
What we
number
buying?
and a security code and expiration date.
Yeah, 'cause there's somebody's information up there, and I want to see the people seeing me. Put your glasses on.
Yeah, I was
They
trying
right
to figure
there.
out what we buying. It's a lot of windows open too.
They got all
Kinda
the
look
tabs
like-
open.
Kind of look like my brain.
Oh man.
my God.
Just scatterbrain. Yep.
Okay, so on today's episode, we'll be well. It
We're
is
talking about mental
actually it's Mental Health Awareness Month actually, and I did not know that.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I just
Okay.
knew that every time I turned on the TV, Spectrum One was talking about something mental health, and I'm like, "Would y'all shut the fuck up?"
Oh shit.
Damn.
Because it was annoying. Because it was like the same clip.
Oh, I'm talking about you just
Oh.
wanting to tell your business.
No, I'm just saying,
It was
like,
a little bit of A, a little bit of B.
and you gonna see your way to the emergency room.
That escalated quickly.
I'm not doing Tommy. No, I
Yes.
don't even never.
Yeah, that is real, as you can see. It's real. It's a real thing.
On full display this evening.
I'm gonna start it off with some stats. Are y'all gonna bother me about this? What? Read the first stat.
All right.
Let's read the first one.
No problem. According to the CDC, roughly 1 in 5 Americans, 1 in every 5 Americans is currently living with a mental illness. Of those, the 3 most common diagnoses are anxiety disorders, depression, and PTSD.
Have either of you ever experienced this or know somebody that had experience?
Yes.
Please elaborate.
No.
I don't know. I think that I've been hearing a lot more people dealing with depression.
Mm-hmm.
Like people I think that are close to me, I've just come to terms with like that's what it is. You know, I don't know. I feel like now a lot of things are heightened. I don't know if it's because we're more aware of what it is.
I really think that's
Or-
what it is because I feel like the generation before us or our parents, one, didn't know, but 2, it also, if they did know anything, it wasn't talked about. A lot of
Right.
things were kept hush hush.
What stays in
and-
it, what happens in this house stays in this
right,
house type of
or
thing.
you know, oh, they just crazy.
No,
Everything
no,
is not they just crazy. Everything
Mhm.
like, oh, they just a little touched. Okay,
Right.
but
I think that would be, in my experience, I think that is more of a, not our parents, but our grandparents type of thing.
Yeah.
I think with our parents, it was probably more of a, that's a luxury. I don't have
Right.
time to be depressed. I don't have
Yeah.
time to work on my healing. I
True.
don't have time
That's
to
true.
do that because
right,
they were always in survival mode.
right.
Yep,
A
that's-
lot
I
of them
think
was
that's
just
true.
like, think about it. If I'm working a job and I'm sick, but I don't have no sick days, I'ma fight through
To go to work.
Mhm.
to
True
go
that.
to work. I'm fuck y'all. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna get paid, but I'm gonna be sick and I'm gonna do the bare minimum.
Mhm.
But the moment them vacation days reload, mental health day,
Mhm.
y'all piss me off. I'm not coming in tomorrow. Like it's
Right.
always, you know what I'm saying. So I
Right,
feel like
right.
it's more of a luxury. So a lot of times, even in our generation, we won't think about it until we have the quote unquote time or the money,
Mhm.
or you know what I'm
Right.
saying. We have the luxury to do it. I've seen it. I've dealt with it. The most scariest thing I've ever had to see was one of my friends having a bipolar schizophrenia moment. Like
Mhm.
it was horrible.
I could imagine.
I didn't know. I mean, it literally went from us hanging out, partying, like everything, to her trying to attack me. And because I'm trying to save her, she's trying to jump out of a moving car, and you know, some different things like that. And it was just like, okay, I can't help her by myself because I don't know what she's dealing with.
Mhm.
Having to call somebody in her family and them being like, oh, well, she has this. And me sitting in the car literally trying to Google, okay, well, what does it mean? How do
Right.
I help her?
Mhm.
And watching her run down the street stripping naked because she thinks people are following her or whatever. And it was like literally in 2.5
Right.
seconds, everything kind of flipped. So I think that it's something that is more normal now, but I think it's something that we still don't talk about
For
as
sure.
much.
Mhm. Mhm.
For sure.
I mean, I had depression. I still got depression. I've always had anxiety. I used to have panic attacks as a kid, and I never knew what it was. I thought I was having a fucking tantrum because that's what my mama used to tell me.
Mhm.
You having a tantrum.
Mhm.
But as I got older and I would have them and I would talk to my doctor about it, she was like, oh, that's a panic attack, but I was never diagnosed with having any type of anxiety. And I think it might have been, they tell the parents to step out the room
Mhm.
and they talk to the child and then they tell the parent to come back. She probably was like, ain't nothing wrong with her. She'd be okay. Because they didn't have that luxury. It was like, well, if they diagnose her with that, she's thinking of the labels and the things that will
Yeah,
hold
of
me
course.
back.
Yeah.
Like, well, then they're gonna put this label on her and it's gonna be this type of stereotype, and then I'm gonna have to take her to this doctor and I'm gonna have to
Right.
do this prescription, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna miss out
thinking
on work.
about
You know what I'm saying?
thinking
They
about
think
all of the domino effect.
Exactly.
Of, okay, so if I let these people tell my baby or tell me that my baby has X, Y, and Z,
what does that look like that I did wrong?
right? That what does that look like for me as a parent? Or okay, like you
I'm
said,
waiting
then I'm
on
gonna have
somebody
to
tell me something wrong with
I'm gonna
Tyler
have
Loass.
to miss work. They're gonna have to miss school, and I'm gonna have to stay home because they missing school. Like you said, the whole domino effect of
Because it's like we don't have the luxury of dealing with all that. Like that's just it's too much.
Mhm,
Yep.
it is.
It's too much to think about.
And then I also feel like even though it's more talked about now, I still feel like there's a bit of a stereotype surrounding it, in certain areas. Like now we don't have to, but now in certain spaces you say, well, this is a safe space. So that gives the other person the opportunity, or anybody in the room an opportunity. Like if you feel that you want to share, this is a safe space. We trust you. Like I trust you, you trust me. Like this is a safe space, so you can share whatever you feel need to. Because on the outside of this,
Right.
people may be judging you. People may be looking
I
at
also
you.
want us to get away from having to say it's a safe space.
For sure,
Like,
everywhere
we shouldn't
should
have to
be
be
a
like,
safe
hey,
space.
with a big
Right,
ass
with
sign.
a-
This
right.
is a safe space. Like, no, let it just be that.
Right.
Let that be shown. Let it be seen. Let it be felt.
Mhm.
Versus it having to be said.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that's true.
because if you got to tell me, hey, this is a safe space, I'm gonna be like,
Is it?
Right.
Make sure. I don't know who else in here.
Yeah.
It makes you a little bit more skeptical.
The one thing that concerns me with the whole, like, everything going on in the mental health is that I feel like some people are also using it as an excuse
For
It's
sure.
trending.
for bad
It's
behavior.
trending.
For sure. For sure.
Like I feel like if you have it, yes, let's deal with it.
But
you
that
gotta-
can't be
you know what I
that
mean?
can't be a forever crutch. Like, okay,
Exactly.
so yes, you have this mental disorder, but how are you working to work through that mental disorder?
Mhm.
Are you taking any steps to work through it so that you can be fully functioning if you are not?
Right. And I understand that, there's different types of mental illness. There's
Oh, for
different
sure.
levels. So some people that's just not something that they could really be able to do.
Yeah.
Like I know, like as I, continue to work on myself, I've been trying to get to the root of things. Like if I get upset about something, I'm trying to get to why is that make me so upset? What triggered that?
Mhm.
What happened in my life? You know what I mean? Because I'm able to do that,
Right.
so that I can deal with my, my mental or whatever it is that
Right.
I have going on, so that I'm not continually making the same mistake. And,
And that goes back to self-care.
Right. Absolutely.
Our last topic is when you
really
prioritize
is.
yourself and okay, I notice that this is something that's constantly triggering me.
Mhm.
Okay, is it PTSD? But if we're being honest, we all got some form of
We all have
PTSD.
PTSD.
Listen,
I'm a black
But-
woman in America.
PTSD.
Going to
I'm
see
a
a
single parent.
therapist. Yeah,
PTSD.
yeah,
And then I'm
definitely.
just fine.
We got PTSD. But
That's
no,
triggering
it's
for
like
me.
going to see a therapist or going to counseling or taking a mental health day or whatever, those are forms of self-care. And those are
Absolutely.
things that we absolutely need to do, because like you were saying, like sometimes we don't take those days off because we got to go to work, but we also
I got
have to
this bill
recognize
come up, my account ain't where I need
Exactly.
it to be. And
Mhm.
But here's the thing, and this is what I would say, because my mother, before she passed away, my mother was definitely a workaholic. She would work all the time. And I would just say to her, Mama, you can't work if you dead.
Yeah.
Period. If you don't take care of yourself properly and get the rest and all of these things,
Right.
you're not,
listen to your body.
you do have
Yeah.
to listen, and that is
Honor
definitely important
your
to listen to your
body.
body.
Your body
for
will
real.
tell you. Like, I'm one person that I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna hustle all this, you know what I'm saying, all summer, so because my birthday in October.
Mhm.
But when I tell you, my body be like,
No, you're not gonna sit down somewhere.
my
And you
vertigo,
have to listen
my
to that.
vertigo will kick in.
Well, first of all, it don't belong to you. Okay, so it's not. Don't put. Yeah,
You're
don't
not claiming
own
that.
Don't own it. Yes, you may have some issue with vertigo, but it ain't yours.
vertigo be kicking my ass.
Yeah, I understand. I deal with
Literally.
it. Deal with it as well. So
And I'd be
know that.
like, okay, how many hours I worked? How the hell I work 100 hours?
Yeah, so you have to.
And I do
Yeah, we
know-
have to take better care of ourselves.
I will say that recently someone tried to bully me because of some mental health issues or the fact that I had seeked. Wait, that's how you saw that word. Therapy.
Mhm.
And it was just like in a moment, it's like, so clearly you need some fucking help as well. But
We all need some.
I
Seriously.
had dealt with depression in middle school.
Mhm.
One of my closest friends was murdered when we was in the 8th grade, and just being a teenager, different things that we
Traumatic.
go through.
Mhm.
And I had wrote a note to my aunt, and I left it on her grave because she's not here. I just needed to get it out. It
Sure.
was like journaling, and I needed to get it out, and she couldn't respond to me, but it was a way for me to just release all of the emotions. My aunt passed away when I was in 5th grade.
Mhm.
I cannot tell you when I wrote this letter. My son is in high school. One of my cousins tried to bring up that I wrote a letter, a suicide note. You wrote a note to my mama saying that you was gonna kill yourself and da 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 da. What's the point, sir?
What does that have to do with anything?
Right.
Did you come and save me? Like, what did you do to help me?
You're my older cousin, and you're now bringing up something that happened 20 plus years ago
Right.
in a way to pick at me and bully me because I was vulnerable in that moment. Thank God that I've healed past that.
Sure.
But you need to work on your own demons. I said, well, I've already sought help for that. I'm grown past that. I've healed past that and
Mhm.
other things. So maybe you need to seek therapy. That's for weak people.
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I feel like that's
like the
also
whole
that's also
men
a
don't
thing,
cry
right?
thing. Mhm.
That's also a thing where I don't want to go to therapy. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Only people that need help go to therapy. Only this type of person go to therapy. Only that person go to therapy.
You
We
clearly
all
are
need
throwing
help.
a tantrum right now, and just those comments, it's like you're screaming for attention. You're
Mhm.
screaming for somebody to say, well, what's wrong?
Mhm.
You want somebody to check on you. You want somebody to say, well, if he's doing this, there must be another reaction. But at the same time, you're saying there's nothing wrong.
Mhm.
Like,
So I think that's a good lead into the next thing you have. What are the barriers to Black mental health care? Provider bias, definitely that.
For sure.
When I was going through my divorce, I went to see a therapist
Mhm.
because I was just like, I was broken, behind that. And I remember my therapist, her just not really understanding what I was going through because of our differences. Here I was getting a divorce from a man, which her preference was women. But in that, I could tell that someone had hurt her that she probably didn't get help for because she kept like male bashing, and I'm like, you supposed to be my therapist.
right, you're supposed to
You're
right,
not
you
supposed to
be
be
helping me,
bashing
right.
all men,
Mhm.
but she kept putting her biases on
She shouldn't
me.
be a therapist.
And I was just like, she probably needs to
I
go
was
and
about to say
see
every
somebody
therapist
about.
needs a therapist.
But
Absolutely.
she probably should just quit.
So, but I think
In
too,
general.
like on the other side is like, she was a white woman, so she for real couldn't understand me and what
Right.
I was feeling
As a
Mhm.
black
as a Black woman, And so
Absolutely.
that's the thing. Like, yeah, maybe we can go to non-Black therapists as Black people, but I feel
can't.
like they can't really
I can't.
understand fully what it is that we going through.
I don't even want to go see a white doctor. I mean, I do it, but I don't want to see a white doctor.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer for all of my providers, mental, physical
Mhm.
health, to be Black. Like I've done some work to get at least halfway there.
Listen, I'm not dating no white person. I don't want. Like, I'm not doing none of it. Like,
They're just not.
You
for
ain't
me.
going outside nowhere, huh?
listen, I
That's
will
okay.
see a white doctor if I have to, but it has to be a female doctor. And you got to understand that I'm gonna talk my shit.
Mm.
You gonna tell me to do this? I'm gonna be like, no.
Okay. I get it.
It just is what it is.
So the next barrier is a lack of cultural competency. We definitely can
Yeah.
relate to that, and a lack of Black representation in mental health care, which can lead to diagnostic errors and inadequate treatment.
Yeah. Luckily, I have been seeing that a lot more Black therapists are surfacing. So I'm like, I like, especially in our community, in the Milwaukee area, I've seen a lot more Black therapists. So, I mean, that's
According to the American Psychological Association, 83.6% of psychologists are white, while only 14.
At the Sherman Phoenix.
But that's true, and that's the thing. There's nothing wrong with you switching until you get
I'm about
that
to say, that's
right
what you're
person.
supposed
You
to do.
you have to
we
because they
change
have
niggas.
to
Why not?
period.
change our panties. Like not
Some people
Those of us
don't.
who
I
wear
mean,
them.
some
I about to
don't.
say some. Some people
They
don't.
should, but they don't. But
Oh.
anyway,
That part too. But I think that no, but I found the perfect person to be my therapist, and I'm completely happy because she is more. Let me say, like, I won't say she's a friend. I won't say that she's not a friend, but I feel like she does the accountability, and she get on my ass when I need her to get on my ass, and it's more like a conversation versus a therapy session. I don't feel like I have to hold back.
right.
Like her tone is different when she gets on the call. Like she gives me the option: do you want to do a video call? Do you want to do face to face? Do you want it to just be a phone call? Like, do you like how do you want it? And I appreciate that because she give me homework and I don't always stick to it because I'm hard headed. But she'll text me in the middle of the week, ma'am, are you doing what you're supposed to do? And I'd be like, yeah. No, you're not, because I told you to check in with me by this time yesterday. And I'd be like, yikes. But that's the person that I prayed for.
Yikes.
But you know, like God will send you the person that is supposed to be there
Absolutely.
with you. And it has helped my healing process tremendously. Was it last year? Yeah, last year I had been at my lowest. And it was because I was opening up that Pandora's box of all of the things that I was dealing with. And I was like, I sent my son away to my mom's house. I was in an empty house. I didn't want to go to work. I was like, I was withdrawing from life. And I went to work one day and I don't know what it was. Like I was shaking. I was doing everything wrong. And it was just like, I just broke down in tears. Like, why would I throw regular garbage in the cardboard like that? Just that little bit.
Yeah, it just took you
broke me
over.
Yeah.
down where I was like boohoo crying. And I was just like, I gotta go. I left work. I was driving down the street. I could barely see because I was crying that hard. I called the doctor office because I didn't know of who else to call. And she was just like, pull over. I just need you to pull over. We will find a way to get you in. How far are you from your house? How far are you from the doctor's office? Like, is there anywhere close that you can go? She was like, I'm just going to talk to you till you stop crying and just drive straight here. Somebody's going to see you. And that day I was actually clinically diagnosed with depression. They told me that they wanted me to go to therapy. And I told them, not if the therapist does not look like me. They gave me 2 different medicines, and me being me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take it, but I don't want to be a zombie. I don't want to not be who I am. I don't want this to just be, a mask,
A Band-Aid.
So
Sure.
I gave myself time. I was like, you know what? I know I need the help, so I'm not going to not do it. And God wouldn't have allowed me to break down the way I did in order for me to just not take the treatment. So I said I would not refill my prescription. I took the medicine. I started doing the work by myself. And I was like, when it's time for me to refill, I'm not going to refill. But when it came time to refill, I was like, I was in the middle of the road. Like, okay, well, I feel like I'm doing better, but I don't want to just stop and then, whatever. And so I refilled the prescription and I was like, I have this amount of time. Like, I need to fix it. Like, I need to figure out what's the problem. Why am I, reacting the way that I'm reacting and what's going to help me.
Mm-hmm.
I started doing the work. And it was literally like, okay, y'all gave me the medicine. I still have the pill bottle at home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking it. But I know I have that,
The
option there.
if you absolutely
Right.
need it.
But at the same time, it's just like, I got to get off my ass. And if I want to live, I have to start living.
Right.
Mhm.
I had to do the work. And I think it's important.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was doing all of the research and I was just like, okay,
Yeah,
I
like
got to get it done.
like I know people who will say therapy doesn't work, but that's because they don't want to do the work.
Right.
No, it's not
it's
gonna
not
work if
easy.
you
I'm
about to
don't
say
do the
therapy
work. I
ain't
know it's not
gonna-
easy
it's
facing
not.
yourself and
It's
facing
looking at
your
yourself in the
demons and
mirror.
facing whatever it is. That's tough.
'Cause you
Nobody
pulling-
really want to face that.
You pulling out a lot of things out this closet. You digging out all this stuff out this box.
all
and
the
this
stuff
of
that
this
you didn't
stuff
compartmentalize and
yes.
tucked
And
away in the
pushed
back of your
so-
mind that you
Mhm.
Yep.
tucked
I
away
will
to
say-
when you tucked it away, never to be thought about again.
Absolutely.
I have amazing friends. I have people that I can
Of
go
course you
Thank
do.
you.
and I can talk to and I can unload. But a lot of times it's like I can come to you and unload all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's just like, all right, we pulled all this shit up, but now what do we do with it?
Correct.
Yeah.
Or
Correct,
I'm
correct.
unloading it and I'm leaving it over at your house.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then it's just like, okay,
Now
well,
what? Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Now you
That's
have,
true.
so
And
we need
I
that
for sure
other
feel
opinion.
like that's why, like, Ruthie, before the pod started, you said, "Well, I'm just over here talking. Y'all don't talk about nothing, blah blah blah." So, well, shit, I really ain't got shit to talk about. In that moment, I didn't, but I feel like that's why I don't have anything to talk about, because it's like, okay, I am very solution based, so we can go ahead and talk about all this shit. That's cool. We can talk about it all
But
day
I
long.
need
But
action.
now
Yeah.
what?
Mm-hmm. I
But
need
part of the
action.
solution is talking and taking the action, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but if I don't know, or we cannot come up with a solution, then I'm just gonna feel empty. Like, okay, I'm like she said, I unloaded all this stuff. Now all this stuff is all out here.
I see that so much too. Like, and I ain't gonna call names, but yeah, I see that a lot in our city where people they will damn near hurt you just to be like, let's pick at this sore. And they don't even give you a fucking band-aid afterwards. It's just like, all right, I got you to cry and pour out all your feelings, but now what's next?
Correct.
Like, you
and
just
I,
left me here now.
and I know a situation
Like,
where I've seen that.
What
and
the
we
hell?
have to, we got to know like what are our next steps. And it's so funny you say that, because on Sunday at church, our pastor had us like take a piece of paper, and then we wrote like maybe something that was bothering us or was hindering us or harming us or whatever. And then
Mhm.
he had this bucket or whatever, and you throw it in there, and it was fire, and it burned it all away.
I've done
Yeah,
that.
I get it. Okay,
It's a releasing ceremony.
right. But now what? I got it, and I know what I needed to do,
Do you
but
know how
everybody
many
don't know
times
what
I
they
done
gonna need
burnt
to
this
do.
nigga name on the paper?
Right. But everybody not gonna know what they need to do with that. Like, I understand what
Right.
he was trying to
Yeah,
do.
the
Now,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like, in his mind,
I done burnt
But,
this
you know-
nigga name on a piece of paper. I done put it in the fucking bottle and then threw it in the ocean. Like, literally, he's
And then,
Right.
still
and then he
around.
called you.
and I said hello.
It's still happening.
but it's like you now you do have to figure out what our next steps were, because it's not a one size fit all. You know what I
Right.
mean? That in that moment, that was freeing for me, because I think it was freeing for me because I already had been doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But for somebody else who don't know how to do the work or hasn't started doing the work,
Right.
yeah, they just went up there and burned a piece of paper,
Yeah.
or it
Because it was a
opened
part
up
of the
something
service.
else that
Listen,
wasn't
I
addressed.
used to, and I'm pretty sure I talked about this in my Dear Diary episode. The dreams, that was
Mhm.
my body
Right.
trying to,
To
tell,
tell
me,
you,
right.
it is time.
It's time to release it.
Come on,
Mhm.
get through it. But at the same time, I wasn't ready.
Mhm.
My body was telling me it's time, but I wasn't ready. So I kept on
Right.
pushing
Right.
it
I had
back and
just
stuff like that. But
reading something
we
women
carry
carry
our
it
trauma in our
in our
hips.
hips, and we got to start releasing that.
Tasha and Mia are really good with
I need to really see
telling
them.
you how to maneuver your hips in order to release the trauma. But I just wasn't ready.
Mhm.
And everything doesn't work for everybody. I was talking to
True.
other people and they was like, oh, well, try this. And it was just like, go see a dream specialist and this and that. And Aziza had tagged me or commented my name under a young lady's status the other day. And she is literally going through the exact same thing. Like, I'm having the same dream with different people. And sometimes it's the same people, but a different type of dream, but it's always the same type of scenario. And she's like, what do I do? Am I supposed to be praying more before I go to bed? Am I supposed, like, what does this dream represent?
Mhm.
And I, unfortunately, I have not reached out to her yet. I told her I would, but it's just because it's triggering
Right.
for
Yeah,
me because
yeah,
I'm
you
still,
still doing the
working,
work.
You're still working,
through
right,
it, but
right.
I don't want to leave anybody by the wayside because I could
You
be
don't want
going,
to open that up, and then
you know what I'm
you don't know
saying?
how
It's just
to really
like
help.
at the same, I mean, that too, but it's just like,
Mhm.
I don't want to have done the work for me and I know what that means for her. And I'm not even telling her, like, sis, this is what you need to do next.
Mhm.
Finish the fucking dream. That's
Right.
step one.
Yeah.
Right.
Because for
Yeah.
me, it was always like, it's a nightmare. I'ma just wake up.
I didn't even think about that till you said it, because I've always had a recurring dream from a little girl, but
Finish.
I'm
the
gonna get
dream.
stuck. I always get stuck in places, like, because I'm claustrophobic, and I'm always would get stuck like in a tube, or you know what I mean. Like in a
It's-
dream, I was coming out of the basement and I was climbing through the whatever. Like,
See,
why?
and with me, it went from me being, sometimes I was a young girl, sometimes I was an adult, sometimes it wouldn't be me, it would be Tyler.
Mhm.
So it was the same situation, but
Right, different people.
you know what I'm saying? It was either me or me as a child, and it was, I always felt like I needed to be the protector.
Mhm.
Or it would, and I would always, somebody would always end up in a tub. I had to do the work. And after I talked to my therapist, and she was just like, okay, you finished your dream, but what did it mean for real? You figured out this, but there's other things in that dream that you need to figure out. Find out what your triggers are. Write the shit down. Journal, scream, like whatever it is, whatever it takes. Like, the healing process has to start. Like, it has to start, because if we don't start, then the rest of the mental health issues do start. You know what I'm saying? Start to take place. And
Seriously.
I don't want to see anybody that I could have helped, even just a little bit, be on the news, or now that they're addicted to drugs or they're addicted to alcohol because they
Right.
couldn't, succumb to all the pressure of mental
Yeah,
health.
that's real. Because a lot of times, addiction and mental illness go hand in hand, because that's
sure.
their way to
cope
cope.
with it.
They're,
Yeah.
they're trying to calm
Self-medicate.
Yeah.
That's what they
calm
call
all
it.
of the different
Self-medicate.
things in their head. Yeah.
Mhm.
Think about how many people we ride. I mean, well, when I ride down the street and I see people on the side of the road and the different, like, you'll see them yelling out all this other stuff. The first thing is, God give them grace, because they don't know,
Mhm.
and whether they do know or not, God have mercy, because
Yeah.
I want to make sure that, one, I'm covering me, but I don't know their story.
For sure.
They really could have been abused, or they could have these mental health issues. They can't afford to get the help that they need, and that's
Seriously.
one of the barriers too.
We were just talking about barriers. That's
Like,
for sure one
they
of the
don't have
barriers. They don't
access
have
to it.
insurance to pay for it, or they have insurance, but that's where all their money is going. They just to get the insurance, they don't have enough for the copay after the insurance. Like,
Absolutely.
there's so many different
Them pills ain't
levels.
cheap.
It's serious. I work on 24th off of Wells, so that's all I see all day is people with mental health issues walking up and down the street, yelling out, doing all type of stuff, and I'm just like, it's so many people. And you just see it all. If you go around the corner on to 27th Street, you see
For sure.
on my way here, I probably passed 10 people. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Acting out. And it probably has to do with,
Yeah.
mental health issues.
I
And
have a
it's
friend that
just-
works at Rogers, and I want to ask him, like, how do you take that off?
Right.
Yes.
How do you
Yes.
take
Like, don't
that?
take.
Yes.
How do you release that and not take that home with you?
I don't
Because
know.
I know you're seeing people in there that look like you.
Yes.
You might come across people that you know. Like, how do you? And then it's the misdiagnosis.
Right.
Like, so many people, they label these kids as ADHD. That's the first thing they want to stamp on them.
Mhm.
Oh, they ADHD, or oh, they this, and so you have the mixed diagnosis. Then you have the people who can't afford the therapy, or they can't
Or the
afford
Can't even
prescription.
afford
prescriptions, you know what I'm
a
saying?
diagnosis at all.
Mm-hmm.
That part, and it's just like there's so many ways
Layers.
to fall by the wayside.
For sure. Yeah.
Like, what I ain't gonna say what we're doing, because I mean we don't have the power to do everything, but what, as a community, what are we doing to help?
And I feel like a lot of people, and I will say myself included, are guilty of just turning our nose up. That's the first thing that we do. We see somebody acting out, somebody with it.
I ain't gonna
We
lie.
don't-
Sometimes it be funny. I'm not gonna
We
lie.
we don't always think of like,
They do.
there's something seriously wrong with them. It's like you said, you see them on the side of the road doing whatever, screaming, yelling, jumping, whatever the case may be. And our first instinct is they need to calm down. Why are they doing all of that?
I bet you they don't run out in front of that car though.
Some of the situations are not as simple as
Right.
them receiving the help that they get. They get the help, then they're not taking the help, or they're grown. They're making
Mm-hmm.
adult decisions. Like, I'm not going back to therapist. Fuck that. I'm not taking the
Because
medicine.
it's hard.
I'm not
or
taking
they
the
have that
medicine.
learned behavior
Right.
of
Right.
that's not what we do.
I have a friend from
Yeah.
high school that unfortunately developed like a schizophrenia or something like that. And we have a Facebook group with all the high school graduates I made for us to kind of keep together for our reunion. And every so often he come on there and start just like crazy posts. It's crazy. So to a certain point. So then I like called him. I was like, dude, you all right? And he started talking about like being in the Navy or something, like the war stuff. And I was like, oh, I didn't know he was in the Navy. And I talked to somebody else, and he's never been in the Navy. He's just making all that stuff up. I'm like, this fool's over here just had me thinking he was in the Navy and whatever. But he went a stretch with that. He just did not take his medicine. And how can you make him? But then
Right.
he got into a relationship with somebody who understood and had patience and helped him do that. So he hasn't been on there like ranting and raving.
That's a
But
strong
I'm just
woman.
saying, like, this is fact. Yeah. And now I was getting to the point where they're at Rogers. That's a stepping stone for therapists. Like, if you're going to school to be a therapist, go to Rogers and you get your hours and you're there and you're working with the kids, and then you gone. This is a revolving door. There's nobody there who's consistently trying to care for the kids. It's
Right.
It's a
Yeah, so that's triggering for, that's not a, like you said, it's nobody consistently there. So how
So
can
they
you
don't
build
even get that.
trust?
I'm
right.
that
There's no
comfortability.
relationships built, and then some of the kids been misdiagnosed or actually playing into a diagnosis.
Oh yeah, for sure. And of
Right.
course, then some with parents wanting them to have a
Right.
diagnosis. to get
Right.
that
Sending
money.
the marriage.
Somebody tried to get me to do that with Tyler, and I was like, I'll whoop your
Ain't
ass.
nothing wrong with that. I watched this movie
It's
this
a little
weekend.
something wrong with him.
Yeah, you was mama.
And his
I watched this show
Both
the
of
other
us.
day, like where people also don't understand like the PTSD and the whatever. So I can't think of the name of the movie right now, but it was based on I Am Somebody's Child. I think that's what it was called.
Okay.
So it was based on a true story. So it was about this young lady. Her mom abandoned her, and she kept going from foster home to foster home. So then she ended up going into like a what's it called, where they just seeing kids away who don't make it in foster care, like a group home
yeah, I
type
was
of
like,
thing. And the counselor there recognized her anger because she would act out and be
Emotional
mad
behavior
and,
disorder.
just fighting and whatever. But it's like nobody could comprehend, like, she's 13 years old. Her mama just left her. She's been abused all the way throughout the system. Like, what you think she gonna do? You think she gonna sit there with her
That
legs
was
crossed
me.
and her hands?
I mean, I wasn't in and out
folded?
of foster care, but
Mhm.
I was angry. I
Yeah.
was always trying to fight. I was very aggressive. I'm still aggressive, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I had all of this anger. Not one person until I was an adult said something about emotional behavior disorder.
Right. Like,
I'm like-
something is happening. So the counselor decided like she had developed this good relationship with her. She could get her to act right and she knew what to do.
Mhm.
And she had decided that she wanted to adopt her. And they would not allow her to adopt her because she was a white woman and this was a black child. And they didn't believe that she could give her what she needed. So you just left her in the system. So basically, she was in the system and they mistreated her all the way through the system up until she was 18. But she always remembered what the white woman did for her because they ended up firing her, and she would call and leave messages.
That's a whole nother problem because then these kids age out of the foster system and then
they're
they
left
just
to
And they,
just
yeah, and
fend
then
for
now
become
themselves.
sex trafficked.
yeah, or they become whatever, or they be,
That's a whole nother problem.
While she was there, the lady was writing her and everything. So when she got out, they gave her all of these envelopes, and the lady was sending her recordings. Like she would record and she would tell her, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that. And so she just sat and just listened to all of these recordings. And like today, she's like she loved to do hair. And so now today she's like this big hair person, and she reconnected with the lady, and the lady adopted her, and she was like 35 years old, and she
I've
still
heard that
adopted
story.
her. It was really it was a good movie. Of course, I was crying, but it was breaking my heart because it's like nobody wanted to address her real issues. They just wanted to give her medicine. And then that's the thing, they kept forcing medicine, like giving her pills, and she was cheeking them, and then finally she tried to kill herself. So then after that, they was trying to give her liquid, and she refused. She's like, I don't care what you do. And she's like, I'm not taking it. She would not take that medicine because she was like, there's nothing really wrong with me other than I'm hurt. You know what I mean? I'm angry. I've been abandoned because her mama was like, I had her this age. I don't want her, and I'm finna marry this rich man, and she can't come.
Have y'all seen? I can use this example every show I'm on. We talk about this. It's a show on Netflix called Made. You saw it?
I haven't seen
it's about
it,
a woman
but
with she is in a abusive relationship, leaves her boyfriend, and she falls into like a depression. And there's one of the episodes, I watched it all the way through, but there's one episode where she was on the couch, and she was just laying on the couch. She had went back to the abusive boyfriend, and the way they depicted this whole scenario was like it had to be like 5-10 minutes of the movie where they just kept the same thing happening. Boyfriend would leave, go to work. She would stay at home with the baby. He'd go get some beer, come back home, and this was a revolving door. She would still be on the couch. And slowly but surely, she started like falling deeper into the couch. Like she was in the couch, like underneath the couch. You could see like metaphorically her kind of like looking up. She could hear the voices and stuff going on. That was like the perfect example of depression. Like it was the most eye-opening because I was literally on the couch, like watching it, like, what the fuck about this couch? So, but the thing about it is,
For real.
like if you are that deep into it, to deny the medication, you're gonna stay in it. Like, I mean, sometimes the medication helps you recognize and see yourself. Like you have an out-of-body experience. Like that's where I was. Like I didn't realize where I was until I was out. I was like, I was that bad. Damn.
Yeah.
That was some badass shit. Like I was terrible.
That's how when I went through when I had to make the decision on whether I was gonna get a divorce or not, and I did go into like a depression where I called my mom and I was like, you got to come get these kids because I took off of work, and I am not, and I think I shared this, I literally laid in the middle of the living room floor for like a week. Like I couldn't even get off the floor, not the couch, the floor. Didn't comb my hair, didn't brush my teeth, didn't wash my butt, just
Stinking.
Just funky, right? For real. Hot, stank breath. You know what I mean? But it's just I couldn't. But it was like but I felt it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to take some time off work so I could for real deal with this. Like seriously, I got to deal with this, and that's what I did. Like I just laid in it for a week, and then after that week, I think that was when Hurricane Katrina came. I'm laying on the floor, and this is going on, and I swear it was like I had like the pages of the Bible was turning. And I just remember God saying, pick up your mat. Like, get up, pick up your mat. I jump up off that floor so fast, and I was just like, nope, we not about to do this. You know,
I think the hardest
Get
thing
rid
is
of that nigga and
actually
keep him going.
admitting that you need the help or that you are depressed. 'Cause
I
that's what it
about to
was
say
for
that, 'cause
me.
I was about to say that. I was like, that's wonderful. But
It's
it don't happen.
hard.
That don't happen like that. Everybody.
Right,
I
right.
never heard a voice. I never heard nothing.
It was so
You was
hard
just
for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like even when the doctor came in there and was just like, so I mean, obviously they knew why I was there, but like, what are you here for today? And I could barely utter the words. Like,
Mhm.
I'm fucking depressed. Like, do you have a plan to kill yourself? Like, I don't know. Like that was my response. I don't know.
Mhm.
Have I thought about it? Yeah. Do I have an actual plan? No, but I'm smart enough to know if I tell you yes,
Yeah.
you're gonna take me and you're gonna figure out what my child is, you're gonna take him too. But you know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
but that was probably the hardest fucking thing to actually admit, like,
to actually say the
bitch,
words.
I am here. Like I'm losing it. Like
Mhm.
in that moment, everything in my mind was find something to kill yourself. Like I was that deep into it and I couldn't figure out why, but it was I had opened up that Pandora's box and I couldn't.
It was
I
overwhelming.
couldn't help.
Yeah, you
I
were
couldn't help
drowning in
myself.
it.
It was just
It's
Yeah.
like
overwhelming. That's a lot, though.
to hear
That's a
people to be
lot.
like, "Are you okay?"
No.
If I say no, are you gonna actually hear the
No.
no?
Exactly.
Me and my friend, we used to do that all the time because church people would just be like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" They don't listen for your response, so we used to start saying like, "I was sucking an elephant penis." We would say random stuff, and they would never. Oh, girl, that's good, and keep walking. You'd be like, "What?" Like we would say the most random stuff. They never listen, and it was just like, damn, like people don't listen.
They
for
don't.
the
They don't
response.
listen because
They
they really
don't.
don't want to hear. They
Because
so
it's
busy in
the
their own
the
stuff.
how are you is more of a greeting than an actual
Mhm.
how are you.
Hey, how you doing?
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like
Procedural.
Right.
Yeah.
what? It's what?
Procedural.
Procedural.
That's another word. I don't know.
Yeah.
Procedural.
It's a procedure. Just
It's going with the flow. It's a part of everyday life.
I mean, I get what he's saying, but I ain't never heard that word before. Y'all
learn
smart.
something new every day.
Y'all ain't kind. Y'all definitely ain't important.
hanging out with like an intelligent man is actually.
Maybe y'all can go get some Dolce and Gabbana ice cream.
It's not the flavor of the day today. It's not the flavor of the day. Wait, which one was that?
The flavor of the day every day is chocolate.
Chocolate.
It's
Because he like a
always
chocolate
chocolate.
woman.
I don't like chocolate ice cream.
It's edible though.
Chocolate.
So back to the topic.
Sorry. You know we always get off topic.
I had have y'all ever had like, or what was y'all lowest point if y'all had one?
Mine was when I was making a decision to get the divorce.
I don't think I've had one yet. It's coming.
I've had several, but yeah.
It's coming, but I don't think I've been.
Why
there
do you
yet.
think it's coming?
Because
So aggressive. Why do you think it's coming?
I didn't mean it like that.
because I just feel like it's a lot going on all at one time, and I know at some point it's going to. I don't know when. I'm just literally waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Okay, so what you gonna
Well,
do?
hopefully you can feel comfortable enough to reach out, or I'm gonna always check on you hoes. I always say that. Hey. At least you respond back.
Whatever.
Yeah, she be ignoring the fuck
So
out of us.
It'd be too much
I
going
reached
on.
out to y'all first today.
So
You did.
We had already been
Early
texting
in the
though.
morning.
We had text what yesterday?
Yep.
So, are you gonna try to do something to stop it before it gets there? Or you?
I think I need that though. To be honest, like
You need it to happen?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I need that breaking point, whatever it is. I need that to happen so that I can move through.
I get that. I can
Do you
100%
think-
get that.
You need it to happen. Like, do you feel like you're avoiding it?
No, I don't think I'm avoiding it. Like I said, I'm not anticipating. I said I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, but I'm not like every day, like, okay, what's gonna happen
Is it gonna
now?
be today?
Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
I know my personality, I will allow stuff to kind of like boil up and then like the conversation I had with my mom, it took, even though I knew, I was like, okay, I know I need to have it. I was setting it in my mind that I'm going to do it. And it took me to get so angry to the point where I was going to explode. And that's when I did it. So I can understand it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I know this needs to happen, but it's going to get to that point where it's like, I can no longer avoid it. Yeah. So I get that. What about you?
What was the question?
It
What was,
wasn't
what was the lowest point? What was the lowest point?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And don't say every other Tuesday.
No. It was when I broke up with my girlfriend, and then my best friend passed away within like 3 months of each other. And I didn't know it until, like I said, until after it was over. Like looking back on it, I'm like, I was in some terrible shape. I was in worse shape than I was when my mother passed. Like I thought I was bad then, and it was completely different.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah,
Completely different trauma.
definitely.
Yeah. So it's just coping with it was going to therapy, and then finding a therapist was all right, but kind of like I got to figure out this myself. But when I tried to figure out myself, because he had given me some medication, whatever, I'm like, I'm not taking medication, and I kept going like deeper into it. So I started to take the medication. I was like, I guess it's helping. I don't know, I don't know if it's working or not. And I think I started to actually, I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. It's almost one day I was like, all right, let's figure this out. And then
Sometimes
bad
you
things.
be fed up with your own bullshit.
Yeah, I think bad stuff kept happening, and I was like, God damn, what the hell is going on? And I would just fall deeper every time, and I was like the Eeyore, like it's just gonna be bad anyway. I might as well not even try it. And I think somebody actually.
Don't come for Eeyore like that.
What Eeyore was.
Negative.
Eeyore is the worst, but we all Eeyore for real. Like, man, I might as well not try. I won't get it anyway. And my spirits has changed. I can't even attribute it to anything. I don't even know what it is. It's just kind of changed.
But you did start taking the medicine, right?
I did.
What made you take the medicine?
I literally was tired. I was tired of feeling. I went to the doctor. Actually, what happened was my damn primary doctor just disappeared off the bitch. Like he's just like, I went one day and it was like, yeah, he's no longer here. I was like, he didn't tell me nobody. What did he get? What happened? It was just like
them primary doctors.
Yeah, that just happened to me
bullshit
recently.
sometimes.
But I've had him for like 10 years. Like, dude,
They
give me
get
a heads up.
reassigned.
Yeah. Well, they didn't even say. I was like, so where is he? They said, we were told not to say where he is. I was like, well, shit.
You know what? That happened to my nail tech too.
So I got a new doctor, and I told him, I was like, hey, I've been without this medicine for a long time. I probably just need a new prescription. And he's like, all right. And he told me a combination that I should take. And I took the combination, and I was like, that changed because I was taking them separately because I was scared to take one. I took them at the same time, and I was like, whoa.
I might have had to. But I think I knew I needed to go and talk to somebody in my moment. But I wasn't like dead set on taking the medicine. But I had somebody with me. Well, not in the moment, but I had somebody that was like, I've taken this medicine. This is, you know what I'm saying, how it works. This is what it did for me. And they continue to show up, even just to like literally sit outside my house and just be like, I'm just here. So I had somebody that was like, I don't give a damn what you saying. If you don't want to talk, we ain't got to talk. But they were right there every single day. So that kind of helped.
I think it ended up being, I recognized, like you said, it's like burning up the problem. I would talk to my therapist and like, all right. And the next week I'd come back. What did you do? It's like, I didn't do nothing. Let's just talk some more. And I just keep on talking. Like it wasn't affecting anything. So then when I took the medicine, how I took it, it messed up my sex drive. Like I didn't want to have sex.
I've heard of that too.
I didn't want to have, and then that messed up any relationship I had. Like I didn't have a desire. I didn't even think about it.
I've had a guy say that too, that whatever medicine that they were on. But they tell you when they give you the medicine, like, okay, these are the options.
But who are you? You're like, that ain't gonna be me.
But depression messed that up too.
Yeah, but like that pill will definitely.
Oh, it just wipes it out. Like gone. Like
Yeah, I had
naked
somebody
booty
tell
in front
me
of you, be like,
I've had somebody tell me that,
Dang.
like,
She had busted wide open. You see?
right.
like, listen, motherfucker, this shit is fucking up my life. Like,
But that's cute.
that's cute.
Hey, girl.
Hi.
Like, yeah,
Hi.
Yeah. So yeah, the side effects was like, so I went to talk to the doctor. Like, look, because people are scared to talk to the doctor. Like, look, fam, I ain't.
You
doing
gotta
this.
take some antidepressants and some Viagra.
Right. Help a brother out. So,
Oh man. But you know, you kind of helping me because you talking, and that's what I think. I think my friend might. I think he might be depressed.
it's hard for a
I
man.
think he's
actually
in
to
a
express it.
depression. That's what it sounds like. But I ain't
Yeah.
no doctor either, though.
But yeah, it's hard. I mean, one thing I would take away from the therapist, he said, we're not depressed. We just are in states of depression.
Okay.
You're in a stage.
Right.
You just got to get out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was
okay,
like, all
that's
right.
good.
So now I look back on it, I was like, that was a stage. So I look back, it was like, damn, it was a good 6, 7, 8, 9 months. I don't know how long. It was a long ass time of just dark. It was just dark. And I felt bad now because my daughter would see it every day. Like she lives with me. And I think about me laying on the couch every single day. She would walk by me every single day. And I don't watch TV at all. I watched every fucking Tubi movie ever. Name it, I saw it. I was watching
Tubi?
Tubi movie. Yeah. Because they go back to back.
I haven't.
They don't stop. Like they never stop. They just keep on
There's some good
going.
movies on there.
I ain't never watched Tubi, but I've heard horrible things.
They have some good movies
It's
on
horrible
there.
things that you will be like, God damn it, this is hilarious.
Have you watched Secret Society? Oh,
Never heard of it.
brother. Oh, brother.
Hey, Detroit is though Tubi Hollywood.
Oh, brother. And I mean, when you see it, you're gonna be saying, "Oh, brother." It's one of them type of situations. I was like, what is happening?
Detroit is definitely the Tubi Hollywood.
We need to have movie night. Apparently.
Oh, brother.
I'm still stuck on that.
Go watch it. I'm probably gonna come back here and be like,
Let's
oh,
be very
brother.
clear that laughter is great for the soul. It definitely.
I
helps
have to
lift the
laugh.
mood.
I have to laugh to
You
keep from
will
crying.
laugh hysterically. I got my daughter to watch one. I went somewhere and she was watching it with me. So what are you watching? And I was like, this stupid movie. She sat down. Like, this is stupid. And I left. I came back and she was just in there.
You get
I'm
stuck.
like, you get stuck. It's just stuck because you're waiting to see what the next stupid thing will happen.
You
I'm
be
not
so
doing that with
stuck.
y'all.
Please.
I'm not. I'm not doing
Please,
Please.
We
It's
gotta,
so
we gotta have
funny.
movie night.
if you like
that with y'all.
laughing,
We can do movie night.
You can't leave the tea
I
out.
would say you can't exclude the T in DNRT.
I'm a Cancer and I'm
Y'all
emotional.
just can't sit on the same couch.
Y'all gotta separate.
We got to chaperone y'all.
Leave room for the Holy Ghost.
Wow, clearly none of us here is depressed because that are depressed don't do that. I can't deal with y'all. I'm not.
Oh
I'm
my
not.
goodness, I love it.
So I actually found some tips or coping mechanisms for each quote unquote most common. So tips for coping with anxiety disorder is keeping physically active. I would just say keep moving. You ain't got to be physically, but don't be still on the couch, as Tommy said. Avoid alcohol and recreational drugs.
Too late.
Don't do
Damn.
drugs.
That was part of
They
my
know.
problem.
All
Huh?
right. Say no to drugs, kids.
It says quit smoking and cut back on drinking caffeinated beverages. Use stress management and relaxation techniques. Make sleep a priority. Eat healthy foods. But
does
ice
that?
cream is such a great coping
I
mechanism.
did stop drinking coffee. I did. That did help. Okay, keep going.
Oh, also learn about your disorder. I think that's important too.
Yeah,
to know.
absolutely. To know,
Like, what,
yeah.
what is it?
So you've got this diagnosis. Now learn about this
Don't just let
diagnosis.
people tell you what it say in the Bible. Go and read the fucking scripture for yourself.
Period.
And yes, you can say fucking when you talk about the Bible.
And I think sometimes like Christian people, because I see this, you've seen cases where somebody was sick and then they let the kid die because they said God was going to heal him. Well, he sent doctors,
Right.
therapists.
If you
Sent
think
all
the
of
tool-
that,
God
you
gave
sent
you
the
the
tools.
tools.
it's
Use
gonna come
them.
back in 3 days and raise this child from the dead,
Yeah, that's
you just killed
know.
little Billy.
like seriously, like use the things that are out there.
And
Don't
therapy is not
you know,
witchcraft, neither is
it's
yoga.
not. No.
And therapy is not the end all.
It's not.
It's not the
Right,
end
we ain't
all.
saying it's everything,
I'm just
right.
making
It's
it-
just the
it's
stage
stepping
that I'm in
stone.
right now.
Yeah.
It's a stepping stone to healing because you have to do more than just go to therapy.
Yeah, because you can't just go and not talk. You can't not be honest. Like, in order to heal, you have to be real. The real one said that.
Here she goes.
Anyways, so moving on to depression. Stay in touch. Don't withdraw from life. I definitely was withdrawing. Be more active. Take up some form of exercise. I'm not doing that shit. Face your fears. Don't avoid the things that you find difficult. That's a good one. Don't drink too much alcohol.
I
For some
call
people,
bullshit.
for some people, alcohol can become a problem. We did
Yeah.
touch on that. Try eating a healthy diet. They stuck on that, huh?
You know what this reminds me of?
And have a routine.
This reminds me of. Do y'all have like someone in your family or someone close to you that is like crackhead?
Yeah. Go on Green Band Capital. That's my auntie.
Okay.
Real life.
Go to Green
It
Band
was just
Capital.
the way he said it.
The real little skinny, light skinned lady. She weighed about 90 pounds. Yeah, that's my auntie.
Now
For
I'm
real.
gonna look for her.
What's her name?
Ella.
Auntie Ella.
In real life.
I'm finna go down there and talk to you.
Yeah.
Well, not
Did
tonight.
she grow up in
It's
Buffalo?
dangerous. I might have to.
Okay.
Auntie Ella. Back
Ella.
up.
Anyway,
She like
Go-
70 years old,
Okay,
still
sorry.
doing drugs. If she don't go sit down.
if you go to this crackhead and be like, all right, so this says you need to get some exercise, you need to
It's
stop.
gonna be like,
But they be exercising all the time.
you
But I'm
mean when
saying,
they be
like,
walking
all-
holding the sign?
Like when you're in it, oh, that shit don't sound. That don't. Sound, I can imagine myself reading that. Like, all right, get up and be active. Like,
Yeah, right.
I'd rather be on this couch.
Yeah, for real.
That
You're
was
right,
true
you're
too when I
right.
had COVID though. I slipped into a depression during COVID. Like, bitch, I'm finna die.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
that was one of the things
I
they
guess-
told me to do. Like, get up, move around. How? Bitch, I can't breathe.
You need somebody to help you do that. But then, and COVID, shit, can't nobody be around you. That's crazy.
I don't want your help.
You need
I
somebody.
would
to
have.
help you
I would
do
have
that.
helped you.
What was
He
the
would have
last
risked, he would have risked his life for you.
PTSD. Try grounding techniques. Get to know your triggers. In addition, you might find that certain experiences, situations, or people seem to trigger flashbacks or other symptoms.
I think that could be related to those too.
Ooh, all this shit is related because I'm pretty sure I got anxiety, and because I had anxiety, I got depressed, and I
And it
have
might,
PTSD.
honestly,
because I
it
was
might
molested.
just be PTSD.
Listen. Confide in someone. Give yourself time. Try peer support. Find a special. I'm not looking after my physical health. They can. Ooh, yeah, I'm
Eat
not.
healthy.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not exercising unless I need to go from the downstairs living room to upstairs. What you playing about? You listen to the music.
It's about
So-
mental health and being a comforter, be there for people.
Find some friends you can laugh with. Serious. Find some people you can laugh with for real, because this is helping.
So
If I was having a bad day, this was helping.
every other Tuesday, it be helping me. 'Cause,
Listen.
man. So, Ruthia,
Mhm.
what you pulling the plug on? We
And
didn't.
y'all want to do a final thought?
Oh, go
for,
ahead.
for mental health?
Do your final thought.
I would say figure out what is triggering you, what your disorder is, if you have one, and figure out what is the best coping mechanism for you.
Agree.
I like that.
I like that. I'm agree.
He agreed to.
Yes.
He left us. He
So I
done.
wrote my pulling the plug down.
You wrote your what?
I wrote it down. I'm
What's
pulling
she
the
pulling the
plug.
plug on this week?
Okay.
I am pulling the plug on allowing people to only accept what is comfortable. Well, the
Oh,
comfortable parts of me.
Okay.
That's good.
Nicole?
I am pulling the plug on allowing people to use me, to take my kindness when I decide to be kind.
We know that
Taking
ain't
my
often.
kindness, no. But I do find myself like people who I genuinely love and care about, I will pour into them, and then I'm left completely empty.
Mhm.
So I'm pulling the plug
You can't
on
pour from an
a
empty
lot-
cup.
Exactly, for allowing people to drain me.
I'm pulling the plug on allowing myself to be attached to things, people, places, and or things that no longer serve me.
Come on, DNR,
That's
don't resuscitate
good.
that thing.
For real. T.
I am pulling the plug on saying yes to every single thing and
Oh,
eventually saying no.
That's good.
Amen.
You better say yes on Thursday when I slide your inbox. 'Cause that's payday.
And that's that.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, we can't pull the plug yet. Guess God still want us to live a little bit.
No, I'll make sure I have that plan on Thursday.
Well, this y'all song.
I don't even know what the fuck this is.
This is Shy. Shy. You remember when I fall in love again?
Y'all funny.
It's probably way before
All
my
right.
time.
You ready to pull the
Pull
plug?
the plug.
Pull the plug.
I love is when women decide that something is no longer serving them and they get the fuck up out of it. Like, this is no longer meant for me. Got a blast. I love that. Like, I love when women choose themselves, put themselves first. Like, I love that. Girl, look at you. Realizing who the fuck you are and realizing, nah, I'm not going to deal with this any longer. I need to get up out of this. I need to do what's best for me. And you did that shit. And that's why you a boss ass bitch, because you did that shit. You did that shit. Never forget that you